Morning, I'm Sam Jaffee. As always this morning, actually kind of a fitting day for this speech. Has anyone ever been to the Southwest? Anyone? Maybe seen pictures of the Southwest, I hope, at some point in time. Well, it's pretty dry. If you look at some of these pictures, at least some of these older pictures, it's really dry because it's a desert. So how do they have the water to make all these big farms so we can get all our fruit during the winter, and to make these big, beautiful, luxurious golf courses? Well, the answer is irrigation. They get a lot of their water from the Colorado River. Actually, most of the Southwest gets all its water from the Colorado River. That's the river that cut the Grand Canyon. Now it's used so much that it hardly finishes into the Gulf of California. It's a mighty river, cut a big canyon, doesn't finish anymore. So why should we really care about the water in the Southwest? Well, because many people today, they're starting to really compete over water resources. If you might remember a story from a couple years ago, especially including Michigan and all the other Great Lakes states, some of the governors from the Southwest wanted to build a pipeline from the Great Lakes down to the Southwest so they could have more water to build more farms, because they used all their water down there. So they could build their farms, build their golf courses, and there's a big conflict between the Great Lakes states, including the two Canadian provinces on the Great Lakes, and the Southwest states on how to use the water. Kind of a big conflict. I'm not sure if it's really been resolved. But you have to consider, even though the world is 70% water, only 3% is fresh water, and of that 3%, about 2% of it is not usable. About 2/3 of it is not usable. It's frozen, it's brackish, which means it's really dirty, you can't really clean it. So only really 1% of the water on the planet is usable. Just kind of ponder that for a second. Now, since we have so little usable water, we kind of have to use it wisely. Today, I'm going to give you some simple strategies on how to use water wisely and conserve it wisely, because we're running out. We really don't have enough water to provide for all the stuff that we do. I'm going to talk to you about some ways we waste water, and hopefully you'll be motivated to go out and conserve a little better. And even though in Michigan we have plenty of water, as we can tell because it's raining all the time, we still have to conserve. Just because we have it doesn't mean we can just waste it. So hopefully I can just kind of persuade you to start conserving a little better than we do. So first, why is water important? Well, without water there probably wouldn't be life on this planet. Humans need it for survival. I'm assuming most, if not all, plants and animals need it for survival. I don't know. There might be a plant or animal that lives in a volcano that doesn't need water. No. But it's very important to life. Life could not exist on this planet without water. It might find a way, but I don't know. Also, economically, water is important. It is essential to agriculture, industry, fishing, everything. You can't have any of these things without water, especially fresh water. So, without this water, all the industry would probably collapse, our civilization would collapse, and we'd end up just fighting and killing ourselves. That's kind of how it goes. Also, water shortages and possession of water resources can lead to conflict. There are many conflicts in the world over water supply, not just the Great Lakes one. If you're familiar with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, well, also including Lebanon and Syria, in that one of the reasons they're fighting is over possession of the Jordan River. Jordan River is pretty much the main water source in that area if you don't want to desalinate the Dead Sea. So Syria and Lebanon are fighting over the tributaries, and of course the tributaries feed the river, and it's really who gets the water, because water is the lifeblood of all industry, all agriculture. And also, as population increases, especially in places without much water, there are going to be conflicts on who gets the water. So, although water is very important, it's not really used very wisely. We waste a lot of water on things that don't need to be wasted on. Just to give a nice little figure, 70% of all the fresh water, which remember is only 1% of all the water in the world, is used on agriculture. That's growing food, growing livestock. The average American uses 100 gallons of water a day. Clearly you cannot drink 100 gallons of water a day. That's for dishwashing, cleaning your clothes, cooking your food, making the food, which is the agriculture part of it, that's 100 gallons a day. Consider that against someone in a developing nation that might survive on 5 gallons a day. They don't wash, they don't clean themselves, they don't get much food, they don't cook their food maybe, something like that.